I think the thing that I took away from that talk, and I think our community did, was the connection between thought leadership and knowledge management. And so the way that you kind of set this up is you were talking about knowledge management being a foundation for thought leadership, which I think is true. But I think it kind of it's more of a loop and it's more of a two-way relationship in that, you told a story of your old firm who kind of pioneered business process reengineering the corporation, right? So they won on the idea, they kind of got credit for the idea, but they didn't necessarily win in terms of the lion's share of the delivery of that work and changing in terms of the consulting on the back end. And someone like an Accenture would win that. And so what I think you and I teased out through discussion was one of the core reasons was the knowledge management wasn't there. Like they didn't figure out how to translate it from one key subject matter expert's head into dozens of people who could then take that out and run their own implementation. So training programs and documentation and best practices and communities of practice to share and learn from each other. So I think thought leadership is oftentimes like the tip of the spear. But if it doesn't get backed up and the processes and the knowledge doesn't get built to help translate that through the organization, it just has a minimal impact. You don't scale it. And so I think knowledge management is a key tool for scaling thought leadership, as well as surfacing new ideas that can be developed in the thought leadership. So I think it's a very symbiotic kind of relationship between the two.
Yeah, I totally agree. As I've said and I said in my book, I look at thought leadership as there's the demand and the supply part of thought leadership. Most people, 99% are focusing on the demand part, how to create content for marketing and selling and winning work. Very few people have been looking at the supply side of thought leadership, which is how to scale up services so that you can, uphold the promises you're making to the marketplace with your Harvard Business Review article, your best-selling book, or whatever it is that clients think they're buying. When
Right. Like, do you want to be famous or do you want to change the world and have it, have an impact through your organization? And, it's like just like a scale of impact and what the priority level is.
yeah,
But I agree with your assessment. It feels
yeah,
like a lot of the investment is on the let's just get our name out there and get known for this idea. But then people then, as soon as you scratch the surface with that, it's like, well, how are we going to deliver this? Like, how does that happen inside our company? That's
yeah.
yeah.
And you put it well. And what I thought you were going to say is, do you want to be famous for your ideas, or do you want to be famous for the client work
Yes. For
or
the impact.
client work?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So,
And I'm not judging. I mean, there's a lot to be said for like being an influencer, like an Adam Grant
yeah,
doesn't have a 200-person firm behind him delivering his insights, but he's making an impact just on speaking. But that's not the same if you're an architecture firm or a software company or whoever it is. I don't think our job is to have a singular celebrity in the company who's known for their ideas. If you want to deliver architecture, you want to deliver software that makes an impact. And that's where you need to operationalize the thought leadership.